Hi, Tennis Guy here. You ever lost a tennis game? You ever feel lost in tennis? Then this guide's for you. Without further ado, I present...
The Tennis Guide.
Tennis is a game where players try to score points using a ball on a field. The game plays very much like a 2D version of table tennis, hence the name, tennis. The field, as I call it, is really just one floor and one net. The net sits at the middle point of the floor, separating it into a right and a left side. The ball, as I call it, is a neon blue circle that moves across the field due to player input and gravity. There are actually 3 sections of the field that the ball can be in: the left side, the right side, and above the dotted line. If the ball is on the left side of the field, then only the player on the left side can interact with the ball. If the ball is on the right side, then only the player on the right side can interact with it. If the ball is above the dotted line, then no player can interact with it. It is too high up for either player to hit. Tennis has a very simple input system of 2 buttons, a forehand input and a lob input. In order to hit the ball, a player must wait for it to enter their side and then let go of the input button. The second the player lets go, the ball will move as if struck by a paddle. There are 3 different places for that ball to go once hit, and only one of them is good. Let's say that you hit the ball. There are 3 different scenarios. 1. The ball can hit the floor or net on your side. This is bad. You need to hit the ball over the net for it to count as a point for you. 2. The ball can go past the net and then not hit the ground on your opponent's side. This is also bad. You need to let the ball bounce on their side and then have it go out for it to count as a point. I call this hitting the ball out or hitting the ball out of the playing field. 3. The ball can go past the net and then hit the ground of your opponent's side. This is good. As long as the opponent doesn't do anything, you will score a point. Obviously, the opponent isn't just going to let you score points for free, but assuming your opponent does nothing, then 3 is your only option to score points.
You note, however, that even if you do have an active and good opponent, that opponent cannot physically save you if you make the mistake of hitting the ball in the first way. The ball stays on your side, meaning the other player can never interact with it.
If you hit the ball in the second way, however, your opponent can save it for you. This is usually still not good for you. I think it instills bad habits to rely on situations like those. Always aim to hit the ball in the third way.
So, now you've hit the ball. There are realistically 3 things that can happen now. You can score, your opponent can score, or the game can continue. If you score a point, you will have the next serve. When you have the serve, you are unable to hit the ball until it starts moving. The ball will be thrown upward, and you have the chance to hit it. If the ball bounces on your side, you lose a point. If you let the ball get too low, you will be unable to hit it over, and you will lose the point. I suggest hitting the ball as soon as you're able, or close to it, to avoid complications with things like input or server lag. If your opponent scores a point, they will have the next serve, and the game will continue until someone gets 10 points. Aside from that, there's one more thing to take note of that might be confusing some people. There is a stamina system. Whenever you hit a ball, it takes a certain amount of stamina, depending on the type of hit and the power that goes into it. This stamina acts as a limiter to the power of your shots. If you have no stamina, you can put next to no power into your shots. You can actually see this effect. This is the bar that determines how much power you are going to hit the ball with. It has 2 parts. The dull blue part is how much power you can put into the shot. The neon blue part is how much power you are putting into the shot. When you hold down an input button, it increases the neon blue part in the direction of the dull blue part, replacing it. I studied physics in college for a bit, so I think of the dull blue part as the potential energy, and as you are charging up a shot, you are converting that potential energy into imminent kinetic energy. If you miss the ball, then it converts all the energy back into potential energy and the bar stays the same size. You've used no stamina because you didn't hit the ball. However, if you do hit the ball, the bar shrinks entirely. Immediately after you hit the ball, you have less potential energy to put into the next shot. The amount that the bar shrinks is related to how much power you put into the shot and the type of shot that you used. Lobs generally take next to no stamina. You can lob the ball at full power and the bar will barely shrink. Forehands, however, can take almost the entire bar if you go full power. The bar gradually grows back to its maximum value, taking a couple seconds to get back to full power from no stamina. I hope I explained all of that properly. It is a little bit of a doozy in writing, but once you actually start playing a couple games, you'll see that it's actually pretty simple. I think the game has extremely simple controls. It's just the mastery of those controls that determine your mastery of the game.